I've had an overwhelming request for musky fragrances. So I've pulled 15 of my favorites at the moment. Some of them are affordable, some of them are tried and true, and some new discoveries. And so I have a broad range of musks to share with you guys. I love musk. It's one of my favorite notes, and I love how differently it can be interpreted in fragrances. So let's jump into the best musks. I want to start with one of my favorite cheapies, and that is Prada Candy Kiss. This fragrance is insanely good, especially for the price point. It's kind of a sweet powdered sugar muskiness. Like, it's very powdered sugar. That's what comes to mind. It makes me think of like meringues. You know, when you're making meringues and that like fluffy airiness, that sweetness, it's very delicate. And there's like a toasty warmth about it as well. So really, like, if this were a food, I would say it's just like a nice fluffy meringue. And then we have Lovely Sheer from Sarah Jessica Parker. Also one of the best celebrity fragrances. This does smell a lot like the Narciso For Her musk. It's a lot lighter. It is very sheer, and it's a great fragrance to kind of throw on in the evenings, and just a casual, elegant type of scent. Very, very affordable. Like, I live in Canada. We have Shoppers Drug Mart, which is like the Walgreens equivalent, I guess. And there's like a sale rack all the time on fragrances, and you can find this for roughly $20. So again, for the price point, one of the best cheapies. This is not a clean soapy musk. This is a little bit more like, it's got a bit of impact, but still it's very delicate. It's like a airy but womanly scent. I know a Musc Noir Rose has been insanely popular, and I love Musc Noir Rose, but as more of like a musky, like true musky scent, I love Musc Noir, and I wear this one all the time. I think if you like this, like, okay, they're not really similar at all, but in that style of like a little bit of like a sharp femininity. This has a slight touch of a vintage facet. There's a little bit of suede in here as well, but an addictive, like, underlying sweetness in all of that. And I think this is one of my man's favorite fragrances at this point. He loves the Musc Noir. He likes the Musc Noir Rose as well, but he's obsessed with the Musc Noir. I think I actually, at this point, like this one more than the For Her EDT, which I've loved for ages, but something in here is just more special. So this one's one that probably you guys haven't heard of, and this is Musc Rebelle. This is from Maison Maissa, and this is kind of a true creamy, like clean soapy musk. It is intense, and this is a powerhouse that will last you days. It will last you literal days. My man wore this just the other day, and then he was like, oh, this is actually a bit too feminine for me, but it was stuck on him. Like, you will not remove this. And it's a really beautiful scent, very clean, almost like bordering on stuffy if you overspray it, but if you really love that soapy, clean, kind of white musk scent, you will love this. I think I have a code with them still. This is like, it's been ages since I've like received this from the brand, but they told me, this boutique told me there's a 30% off code. And the next one is Andrea Mac Ceramic. I've loved this brand for a very long time. I was introduced to it through Raffinat Perfumery, which is an incredible European boutique for niche fragrances, but they ship worldwide. And they've had Andrea Mac for ages. This brand is making its way more into like the North American mainstream market. But ceramic is, I think I've talked about it a few times, it's this like gorgeous kind of like cold stone musky scent. It smells very clean, the way that like Blanche from Byredo smells clean. It's like you're doing laundry in an old stone building somewhere with like wet walls, and it's chilly. This is a cold musky scent. I really love it. I think it's super cool. The whole brand actually has really, really interesting fragrances. A clean fragrance. Okay, I wore this basically the entire time that I was pregnant, and this is Ellis Brooklyn Myth. I just found it so comforting. It's actually ambrette in here. It's a very present scent. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit aquatic. Just don't overspray it, because I think I oversprayed it a couple times and then I got a little bit put off. But this was a fragrance that I smelled in Sephora and immediately loved, and like I had to have it immediately. I think they have a body oil as well. of the scent, which would be amazing because this is the exact scent that I would want getting out of the shower. It's still got this like fresh, like watery quality to it, but just like very musky, clean, and a bit sweet. I wouldn't be able to do this video without Erin Amber Musk, which is one of my signature scents. I wear this all the time. This is very cozy, very fluffy. I liken this to like a fuzzy sweater, or like the way that pampas grass looks, you know, the when it's like all dry and fuzzy like that. That's the scent to me, is that level of like fuzziness and comfort. And it's very airy. It's a little bit sweet as well, and it's not heavy. I always thought this fragrance would be a heavy, intense scent. Amber Musk, to me, that name suggests like something heavy, but it's actually incredibly light. I think it's a perfect type of signature scent. I think it's a great one even to wear to a workplace. It's very non-intrusive. The scent is very non-intrusive. Every time that I wear this, I get a compliment like I smell yummy, or I smell cozy, or like, oh, you smell so good. Always get a compliment on this fragrance. This is a newer discovery. This next one is from Rania J, and it's called Musk MOS Juice. I need somebody to help me, please, in the comments phonetically spell it out for me how I should pronounce this. This is a kind of vanillic black currant scent, musky, sweet, kind of tangy berry quality to it. I love this. I actually like this a lot more than another vanilla black currant scent that I got not too long ago, which is also beautiful but a bit too gourmand, called La Cautiva from a brand called Fueguia. This one is a lot easier wearing for me because it's more musk. It's more just like simplistic. I like simplicity in fragrances, and this gives me just a little bit of a sprinkle of something unusual that just like keeps me interested. But it's so comfortable. I do have a code with them, I think, and it's the scented 10. Oh, here's another cheapie I forgot to mention. So, Banana Republic's Pure White. This one I got from the Banana Republic outlet store a couple of years ago. I don't know if you can still find it directly at Banana Republic. But anyway, this scent is a very clean, like, kind of like laundry tea-like scent. Musky laundry tea. I used to think it reminded me of Byredo's Belle d'Afrique, but it actually reminds me more of Anisio's Musk Therapy. And I was going to put Musk Therapy in this list, but I don't have a bottle, and I just ran through my like tiny miserable little like 1 ml sample, so I was like, that is just unreasonable to have included it in this list. I do love that scent, but this is pretty similar. Like, I think this will hold me over for now. This cap is not agreeing with me. It's a very, very similar effect. So those of you guys that have been asking me for a dupe of Musk Therapy, this is the closest that I have found so far that gives me pretty much the same effect. Next we have Narciso Poudre. I realize that maybe I'm being a little bit unreasonable by filling this list up with Narcisos, but this is just so good. And when the cold weather comes, like right now, this is what I want to wear nonstop. This is my favorite musky, cozy, sweet, cold weather scent. There's a real elegance about this. This is just on another level. I think Narciso knocks it out of the park for musk fragrances, but the key is that you have to try it on skin. Musk agrees with my skin, and it really doesn't agree with certain people's skin, as you guys have commented, and it just doesn't work for some people. So you really just need to try it on your skin, because on paper it doesn't smell the same. But this is kind of a sweet, white floral, powdery scent, and this one is more dense than some of these other ones. This isn't like a light laundry airy thing. This is a deeper, sweeter, powdery scent. It's more powdery borderline than it is musky, but I put this here anyway because the musk is still prominent, and it is that signature Narciso musk. It's got just a tiny bit of like sharpness to it, like a sexy sharpness and edginess. I shouldn't say sharpness. It's an edginess. It doesn't like physically give you a sharpness. It's unique. Here's a fragrance that says musk, but it's really not that musky. In fact, it's more figgy. I just really like this. It's like a figgy tea type of scent. And my man being a fig hater, if you guys saw the video we did together where he just like basically ripped apart fig fragrances for women over here. Like he was talking about just fragrances that he finds repelling in general. Well, guess what? We found one that's not one of them, and he wears this himself, and he actually really likes this. and it's a very fig dominant scent. Now it does give you kind of the effect of musk, and what's in here is ambrette. It's musk mallow, so it's not technically musk, but it smells musky. And same thing with myth, I'm pretty sure is just ambrette. Same idea, you know, but yeah, it has a sweetness, a little bit of an airiness, a little bit of a like a tingle. It's got a little bit of a tingle, like a little bit of a prickle. I love layering this with tea scents, and specifically Oolong Infinity from Atelier Cologne. I think you can still find this fragrance on online retailers, so I love it. And then let's go to BDK's Crème de Cuir. This is a powdery kind of suede scent. It is still very, very musky, buttery. To me, this is like a buttery musk, like melted butter. Yummy. I adore this. I think it's one of their best fragrances. Everybody loves Gris Charnel. I like Gris Charnel. It is one of my most complimented fragrances, but I personally prefer this. Like, I smelled a sample of this and I needed to buy it immediately. And next up is Musc Ravageur, and you guys are gonna say, oh, the old formulation is musky, the new formulation isn't musky. Maybe. So I'm just gonna glaze over it. Mine is musky. It's very sexy. I think a little bit more masculine, although I do wear this myself, but I just like, oh, I go nuts for this scent if my man wears this. This is so sexy. Any men watching, like, if you want to smell fancy and just delectable on a date, you need this. You need this fragrance. It is less musk and more like of a spicy vanillic type of scent, but if it didn't have the musk, I think it wouldn't smell like this. So we're gonna still keep it in this list. As you guys can see, I'm like moving away from musky scents to like musky scents. Okay, since we're going to musky scents, and I'm just gonna touch on these super quick. Nuit Bleu from Maison Violette. This is another one I got from Raffinette Perfumery. People in North America are finding this brand hard to find, but Raffinette Perfumery does ship worldwide, and I do have a code with them for 10% off. It's The Space Scented, and they have this brand. This smells like a bougier version of Prada's Infusion d'Iris, like Infusion Iris, the powdery iris scent, but this is basically the same. I like this more somehow. I can't pinpoint the distinct differences, but this to me smells more magical. It's airier. It's like the perfect comfort scent in the evening. I wear this all the time, and this is another one that's one of my man's favorites. Like, I don't know why he finds this one so sexy, because I think a lot of people would call this one like a little bit grandma or whatever, but I love it and he loves it. He's like, every time I wear these, he's like, are you trying to seduce me? Like, what's happening right now? So yeah, I mean, he's probably an outlier, but he finds the scent extremely seductive. And just super quickly, two more that I want to touch on that I'm going to call honorable mentions. Juliet Has a Gun Romantina, I recently discovered smells quite a lot like Tom Ford's White Suede. This has a vintage quality to it. It has a vintagey powderiness to it. I like the musk in here. It has almost a suede-like facet. I compared this side by side to White Suede, which I recently picked up, and I was just like, I just found such an uncanny similarity in them. It has notes of rose and iris. I think it has a bit of patchouli in here. And just some slight, like, animalic, salty qualities. I guess this to me is like a blend between the Narciso for Her EDT and Tom Ford's White Suede. And then lastly, I wanted to touch on Ulrich Lang Lethe. I've had this for a couple years, maybe just over a year, and I feel like I haven't given this the attention that it deserves. I just have so many fragrances, it's hard to highlight certain ones. But this is a really interesting kind of like woody, dream-like, soapy, musky scent. It's really unusual. It's kind of strange. It's like, it's hazy. It smells very hazy and foggy. It is like the most androgynous scent that I've ever smelled. It just is. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's probably one of the hardest fragrances to describe. I think you just have to smell it. It's kind of like a woody, hazy, musky scent. There's no sweetness in there. Maybe like some level of milkiness. It's weird and fascinating to me. I just kind of want to keep smelling it. And that's it for the musky fragrances that are my favorites at the moment. So please leave me a comment. Let me know some of your favorite musky fragrances. I will definitely check them out if I haven't already. If any of these fragrances struck your interest and you wanted to sniff them and you can't find them anywhere, then you can get samples directly through me, through my decant shop, thescented.ca. Everything is linked in the description. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.